हरे कृष्ण माता जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्ण
दंडवत प्रणाम।
दंडवत
हरे
प्रणाम।
कृष्णा।
माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम।
दंडवत प्रणाम। हरे कृष्णा।
दंडवत प्रणाम माता जी।
दंडवत प्रणाम। When did you get back?
I came back yesterday night.
Okay. Okay, shall we start?
हरे कृष्ण माता जी।
माता जी,
Hare
प्रणाम
Krishna.
माता जी।
we are live now.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी दंडवत
Dhanwad
प्रणाम।
Pranam.
The host.
Dhanwad Pranam. If you can make me the co-host,
Yeah,
that would be good.
I'll do that.
Thank you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam. Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jyadhirayet. नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्ति भवति नैष्टिकी. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, chapter number 4, verse number Krishna, verse number 3. Okay, go ahead, Shubha Rao Prabhuji, go ahead, please.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी दंड प्रणाम।
Pranam.
यस्य हीन्द्र स्पर्धमानो भगवान् वर्षेण ववर्ष तदवधार्य भगवान् वृषभदेवो योगेश्वरः प्रस्यात्मयोगमायया स्ववर्षमजमाभं नामाभ्यवर्षत्।
Thank you very much. Madhurya, Madhumai Krishna Kant Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी।
Hare
ओम
Krishna.
नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। यस्य हीन्द्रः स्पर्धमानो भगवान् वर्षेण ववर्ष तद् अवधार्य भगवान् वृषभदेवो योगेश्वरः प्रहस्य आत्मयोगमायया स्ववर्षम् अजनाभं नामा अभ्यवर्षत्। थैंक यू माता जी।
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Chitra Mohini Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। हि इंद्र स्वर्धमानः भगवान् वर्षिणा ववर्ष तद् अवधार्य भगवान् ऋषभदेवो योगेश्वरः प्रहास आत्मयोगमायया अभ्यवर्षत्।
Okay, there's some background noise. Somebody is unmuted. If you can. Okay, Vijay Kumari Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी।
Hare Krishna.
यस्य हीन्द्रः स्पर्धमानो भगवान् वर्षे न ववर्षदत् अवधार्य भगवान् ऋषभदेवो योगेश्वरः प्रहयस्यात्म योगमायाय स्ववर्षम् अजनाभं नामवर्षत्। हरे कृष्ण माता जी। थैंक यू
Thank
माता
you,
जी।
Hare Krishna. Madhu Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। यस्य इन्द्रः स्पर्धमानो भगवान् वर्षेण ववर्ष तदवधार्य भगवान् ऋषभदेवो योगेश्वरः प्रहस्य आत्मयोगमायया स्ववर्षम् अजनाभं नाम अभ्यवर्षत। थैंक यू माता जी। हरे
Very
कृष्ण।
nice. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Anjali Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण। यस्य हि इन्द्रः स्वर्धमानः भगवान् वर्षे न ववर्ष तत् अवधार्य भगवान् ऋषभदेव योगेश्वरः रहस्य आत्मयोगमायया स्ववर्षम् अजानाभम नाम अभ्यवर्षत्। हरे कृष्ण माता जी।
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Srinivas Rao Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम। ओम नमो
Pranam.
भगवते वासुदेवाय। यस्य हीन्द्रः स्पर्धमानो भगवान् वर्षेण ववर्ष तदवधार्य भगवान् ऋषभदेवो योगेश्वरः प्रहास्य आत्मयोगमायया सवर्षम अजनाभम नामाभ्यवर्षत। हरे कृष्ण माता।
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Surya Prakash Rao Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी धन्यवाद प्रणाम।
Krishna.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय यस्य हीन्द्रः स्वर्धमानो भगवान् वर्षनववर्ष तदा तदवधार्य भगवान् ऋषभदेवो योगेश्वरः रहस्यात्मयोगमायया स्ववर्ष मदनाभं नामभ्यवर्षात्। हरे कृष्ण माता जी
Thank you,
धन्यवाद।
Hare Krishna. Prafulla Mataji. Galaxy tab.
हे कृष्ण माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम। यस्य
कृष्ण।
इन्द्रः स्वरत्मानो भगवान् वर्षेण ववर्षत अवतार्य भगवान् ऋषभदेव योगेश्वरः प्रयस्यात्मा योगमायाय स्वं वर्षम् अजनाम नामप्यवर्षत। हरे कृष्ण माता जी थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Leena Mataji. Leena Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम। यस्य हि स्वर्धमानो भगवान् वर्षेण ववर्ष तद् अवर्धाय भगवान् ऋषभदेवो योगेश्वर रहस्यात्मयोगमायया स्ववर्षम् अजनाभं नामाभ्य अवर्षत। हरे कृष्ण।
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Yasya, of whom he indeed, Indraha, King Indra of heaven, Swardhamanaha, being envious, Bhagavan, very opulent, Varshe, on Bharatvarsh, Na Vavarsha, did not pour water, Tat, that, Avadharya, knowing Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Rishabhadevaha, Hare Krishna, Rishabdev, Yoga Ishwaraha, the master of all mystic power, Prahasya, smiling, Atma Yoga Mayaya, by his own spiritual potency, Swavarsham, on his place, Ajanabham, Ajanab, Nam, named, Abhya Varshat, he poured water. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, Srila Ki Jai. Indra, the king of heaven, who is very materially opulent, became envious of King Rishabdev. Consequently, he stopped pouring water on the planet known as Bharatvarsha. At that time, the Supreme Lord Rishabdev, the master of all mystic power, understood King Indra's purpose and smiled a little. Then, by his own prowess through Yoga Maya, his internal potency, he profusely poured water upon his own place, which was known as Ajanabha. Purport by His Divine Grace Prabhupada Ki Jai. We find the word Bhagavan used twice in this verse. Both King Indra and Rishabdev, the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Lord, are described as Bhagavan. Sometimes Narad and Lord Brahma are also addressed as Bhagavan. The word Bhagavan means that one who is very opulent and powerful person like Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Narad or Indra. They are all addressed as Bhagavan due to their extraordinary opulence. King Rishabdev is an incarnation of the Supreme Lord, and therefore he was the original Bhagavan. Consequently, he is described herein as Yogeshwar, which indicates that he has the most powerful spiritual potency. He is not dependent on King Indra for water. He can supply water himself, and he did so in this case. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said, Yagnat bhavati parjanyaha. Due to the performance of yagya, clouds of water are manifest in the sky. Clouds and rainfall are under the management of Indra, the heavenly king. But when Indra is neglectful, the Supreme Lord himself, who is known as Yagya or Yagyapati, takes the task upon himself. Consequently, there was sufficient rainfall in the place named Ajanabha. When Yagyapati wants to, he can do anything without the help of any subordinate. Therefore, the Supreme Lord is known as Almighty. In the present age of Kali, there will eventually be a great scarcity of water, anavrishti, for the general populace, due to ignorance and the scarcity of yagnic ingredients, will neglect to perform yagyas. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam, sorry. Therefore advises Yagne Sankirtane Prayer Yajantihi Sumedasha. After all, Yagya is meant to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In this age of Kali, there is great scarcity and ignorance. Nonetheless, everyone can perform Sankirtan Yagya. Every family in every society can conduct Sankirtan Yagya at least every evening. In this way, there will be no disturbance or scarcity of rain. It is essential for the people in this age to perform Sankirtan Yagya in order to be materially happy and to advance spiritually. Omadhyantiminandasya Gyananjanjalakaya Chakshurunmintam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manovishtam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamahiyam Dadati Sapadantikam. Hey Krishna. Hey Krishna, I'm sorry. Hey Krishna Karna Sindhu Deen Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastite Saptakanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishpanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriyai. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advait Gadadhar Shri Sadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami iti namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaurvani Pachayine Niveshesha Shnivadi Paschatya Deshatayine. Indra, the king of heaven, who is very materially opulent, became envious of King Rishabdev. Consequently, he stopped pouring water on the planet known as Bharatvarsha. At that time, the Supreme Lord Rishabdev, the master of all mystic power, understood King Indra's purpose and smiled a little. Then, by his own prowess, through Yogamaya, his internal potency, he profusely poured water upon his own place, which was known as Ajanabha. I'm sorry. So, we're reading a very auspicious chapter. 5th Canto Srimad Bhagavatam, the Creative Impetus, chapter number 4. Do you still remember the name? The qualities of. What is the name of the chapter?
Characteristics of Rishabdeva.
I can't understand.
Characteristics of Rishabdeva, Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Supreme Personality.
Yeah, characteristics of Rishabdev, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Very nice. So you studied that Rishabdev. What does Rishabh mean? What did Prabhupada explain yesterday? Rishabh means what?
The best.
The best.
Best. And when Rishabdev appeared, he appeared with all the marks of Supreme Personality of Godhead. And as he was growing older, it was becoming more and more clear that he is indeed the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right? So, and then we are saying that he actually was a rightful leader, and that his leadership was recognized by the saintly people, the citizens, demigods. Everybody wanted Lord Rishabdev to be the leader of the kingdom. And he had all the 6 opulences in fullness exhibited by Bhagavan. And that made Indra disturbed. He became envious of King Rishabdev. You see, it's a very learning lesson that we think that getting the position in the higher planetary system will purify me. But we don't see that. Right? Of course, there is more material opulence. If you read, like Srimad Bhagavatam describes the opulence of Indra's planet, Lord Brahma's planet, Gandharvalok, Siddhalok, all these planets, are very, very opulent. And there is and there is prominence of mode of goodness. We don't hear about them having factories and hospitals, because people are generally very beautiful and they don't really fall sick. They die of natural death. So there is more prominence of mode of goodness. So it's more like pure, because goodness means pure. But at the same time, all the anarthas are not gone. So Indra became envious of Rishabdev because everybody was giving him more attention than Indra. Right? That's what envy means, right? I like what you have, but I don't like the fact that you have it. So he liked what Rishabdev had, the 6 opulences, but he didn't like the fact that Rishabdev had it because he wanted to have it. Our position is the same. We cannot really find fault with Indra, because we can only find fault in someone if we can correct that fault. Otherwise, it's coming from the mental level, and mind is just going to put one in illusion anyway all the time. So we can see here that Indra position or conditioned living entity's position is not much different. So we project our envy on Supreme Personality of Godhead, but it's Krishna, what is he doing? He's smiling. Krishna, this smile is called Prahasya. I should have read it. In Nectar of Devotion, different kinds of smiles of Krishna described with different meanings. Prem Prakash Adas Prabhu, do you remember smiles with different kind of meaning, alag types? So Prahasya is yes, Prabhu, do you remember? I
No,
have to
Mataji.
go back. So in first chapter Bhagavad Gita also, when Krishna speaks, he smiles. Over there also it's mentioned. I remember. So Prahasya, I think Prahasya is a smile where the teeth are not shown, and it is like, he's not getting angry. Difference I have to look up. I have to go back and check again. There are different, I think there are 3 or 4 different kinds of smiles, and each smile of Krishna has different meaning. A smile, or a smile where the teeth are shown, smile where teeth are not shown, or a laughter where there's laughter. So everything is coming from Krishna. Anyhow, so he's smiling. He smiled a little because he's looking at Indra, and then he's saying that the conditioned living entity is thinking itself to be as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What are you going to do? Are you going to get angry at that? Because it doesn't even deserve the exhibition of an anger. Somebody else's illusion should not incite our anger. We reserve it. So, and then Krishna did not even bother to correct Indra. This is the result of envy. Even the Supreme Personality of Godhead neglects us. He does not even bother. He does not even bother. We're not hearing. He just went ahead, and by his own internal potency, he poured the rain at his place known as Ajanabha. So, for a devotee, the biggest danger is to be neglected by the acharyas and neglected by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And we how can we avoid to be neglected is not to cultivate envy. Don't cultivate that quality consciously. It will come up in our consciousness time to time because we have been envious for so long, but don't fuel it more than what it is already. And if it comes up, then one has to consciously, take care of it. Otherwise, this is the result. Like Krishna will carry on his leadership, his being God, and we will fall behind. So basically, that is why they are called anartha or meaningless, because they don't serve any purpose. These qualities should serve some purpose, right? It is not serving any purpose. That is why it is called as anartha, no meaning. Artha means meaning. Anartha means no meaning or useless, in other words. So then we will see later on that Indra actually becomes embarrassed, and he actually then gives his daughter Jayanti's hand to Rishabdev as an apology. So we can see that Krishna is not going to. When we recite 10 offenses to the holy name, there is an offense, right? Not to instruct the faithless person regarding the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is an offense to the holy name. Prabhupada says that Prabhupada has said that devotee takes chance of instructing everybody, whoever comes in their purview. But in general, Krishna is showing by his example not to instruct an envious person. Just ignore and carry on. Okay, some people and some things need to be ignored. And time has its own way of settling everything down eventually. And then here, Indra forgot that the sacrifices are meant for Yagyapati, and Krishna is Yagyapati or Yogeshwar. Indra became proud of his ability to pour water or rain everywhere. But in that moment of pride, he forgot that he's actually getting this quality from Yogeshwara. So it is like showing a lamp. So Indra's mystic power in front of Krishna is like showing a lamp to the sun. Does showing a lamp to the sun has any purpose? Any purpose is served by showing a lamp to the sun?
No.
Is the darkness disseminated with the lamp or with the sun?
Sun.
Sun
By the
only.
sun. By the sun, yeah. Right, thank you. So in that way, it has no meaning. But Prabhupada, when Vyasdev is teaching us the lesson that we are doing the same thing. Our pride is sitting at different places. Krishna describes that in 3 gateway to hell. What are the 3 gateways to hell? What are they? The 16th
Lust,
chapter.
greed, and anger. Anger. Mataji.
Lust, greed,
Lust,
and anger.
Lust,
and
greed, and anger.
Greed.
Lust, anger,
Lust,
and greed.
anger, greed.
Greed.
Very nice. So lust, anger, and greed. So the 3 gateways to hell. So Krishna has explained it. So all these qualities, one needs to be cautious and conscious as to which direction am I heading, because they will come up as we chant Hare Krishna. We actually become more and more aware of our own useless and meaningless qualities, right? Before we chant Hare Krishna, we are looking at these negative qualities in other people. But when we start chanting Hare Krishna, really one of the tests is that we actually start seeing these qualities within us. Does it happen with you? What we were
Yes.
looking outside
Yes.
becomes visible from inside.
Yes,
Does it happen?
Mataji. That is true.
Yeah, yes, that's because Cheto Darpana Marjanam is the first benediction of chanting Hare Krishna. Right? We become clean in our mirror of the heart. So when Cheto Darpana Marjanam is happening, we actually, when you're doing a dusting on a dusty mirror, the dust flies off, and when sometimes it gets in the eyes and causes itchiness, sometimes in the nose and causes runny nose, sometimes it goes in the throat and causes cough, like that. When we're chanting Hare Krishna, all these qualities Krishna brings up. You want to come to me, you want to serve me, you're praying for that, look at yourself. You have to get cleansed of all these things. So we have to be conscious, like consciously Krishna conscious. And Prabhupada is giving a very simple method in this particular verse. That always remember that all the activities are performed for the satisfaction of Yagyapati. And in this particular age, everyone can perform Sankirtan Yagya. Even for a material happiness, one need to perform Sankirtan Yagya. Forget about advancing in spiritual life. One cannot be materially happy if one is not performing Sankirtan Yagya. Don't think. You see, Maya has its own way of putting an illusion. A conditioned soul has a tendency to think happiness means wealth. Happiness means good job. Happiness means good health. Okay, happiness means good friendship. Happiness means good family. Happiness means good children. Right? Do we say that? If I'm happy, then I have. In the pastime of Chitraketu, Maharaj Chitraketu, when was it Angira Rishi who comes? I think it's Angira, 6th canto Srimad Bhagavatam. When Angira Rishi comes and he sees that Chitraketu is sitting with a very long face and he appears very sad, then Angira Rishi inquires from Chitraketu, I think 7 different things which makes a king happy. So there's a list of those things, like are you being attacked by other people, other kings? Are your subordinates not, or citizens are not paying taxes on time? Is the land not producing enough produce? Like, or the ministers in the court are cheating? Like, there are like different things on which the happiness of a king is dependent. Like they say, our happiness is dependent happiness, but we cannot even derive the happiness from these objects of happiness unless necessarily perform Sankirtan Yagya. It's a big topic in the world. You see, all problems can be solved by chanting Hare Krishna. See, the topic in the world is, okay, somebody is very rich, then they feel sad. Okay, I actually recently took care of a person like that. So they said, okay, I am very fortunate to be born in a very rich country. I'm very fortunate to be born in a very aristocratic family. I'm very fortunate to be born, to have access to so many things that people can't even think about, or I have so many, but I am still very disturbed in mind. So she asked me that how do you bridge this gap? So it's not in Krishna consciousness, but a person not in Krishna consciousness also sees that. Literally, the question portrayed to me was, how do you bridge this gap? Because on one side, I see all the things that one needs to be happy in their life: good birth, richness, beauty, aristocracy, education. I have all this, but why am I not still happy? Because this is what the world tells you, that you need all these things to be happy. So why are you not happy? What is your answer going to be? Somebody like this comes to you. If I send this person to you, what will you say?
There's a very nice synonyms going on. Money can buy you food, but not the appetite. Money can
But
buy
not
the appetite.
the appetite.
Similarly, 10, 12 things are there that money can buy these, money can buy that, but cannot buy the actual happiness.
Okay, very nice. Okay, thank you.
The soul will be happy only when you chant Hare Krishna Mataji.
Okay, very nice. Thank you. Dhanya Dhameshwari Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Mataji, if we have everything also, our mind will be always searching for which we don't have, Mataji. So the self-containment will never we reach, Mataji. That is there actually. So we may have a big house, we may have all the opulences like what you told, beauty, all those things, but which we don't have. That only will be always hankering, Mataji. So that is there.
Very nice. Thank you. Dr. Vasti.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Mataji, we can be happy when we will be in our natural environment, when we be in our natural place. Like fishes are happy when they are in water. We are actually the part and parcel of Lord. So ultimately, we will be happy when we will be near to Him. So I think, means somewhere I've heard Prabhupada has also said that we can be happy when we will be there near to God, and when we will be near to our natural source. So I think in this, he has said that this is Dukhalayam Ashashvatam.
So if I send you this person who is not aware of Krishna consciousness at all, is this, your answer is very beautiful. The explanation is very good, but what will you tell this person? And it's a real thing. I'm not even making it up. It's a real thing. Very, very nice, Mataji. I'm really
in this world now, you know, I am these days I'm really finding it very strange. The people are not happy when their boss is not saying yes to their work. They are not happy when their child is not saying yes to her or him for everything. They are not happy because they are not on time. So lots of things they are having for not being happy. So they are trying to run after that happiness, but every time they are unhappy. They are complaining. This is what it is I'm observing, Mataji.
Okay, very nice. Thank you. Kirti, Mataji. Yes, Mataji, what will you say?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Most of us look for happiness outside, Mataji, but happiness can be found from within, because we find happiness, like, you know, maybe if we are on a good vacation, or we have a lot of money, good education, like all those you said. But happiness has to be found from within, and from Bhagavad Gita, that's what we understand, that, you know, like when we look within, and you know, we understand that Paramatma is there and he's trying to guide us. So yes, Mataji, that's what I wanted to say. Thank you. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Madhumai Krishna Kanta Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Actually the bodily happiness, comforts are all there, but that will not become satisfied fully unless the soul satisfaction is looked at. The soul is starving there with her. So she has to go for the solution of, giving some food to the soul. That is not there. So the food to the soul is the loving or serving Paramatma, the super soul. So that is to be told.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Prafulla Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Wants are unlimited, Mataji. Wants are unlimited and desire are like that. if we are searching everything happiness from outside and externally, then we will not be happy. And we have to search it from our mind only. We have to make up that, and inside also. Like inside, we have to see for happiness, Mataji.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Krishna. Prem Prakash Haridas Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Happiness is the characteristic of the soul, and it's only soul which can be happy. All attempts to make body happy and satisfied always will fail. Until you make soul happy, this bridge will always continue.
Very nice. Thank you very much. Thank you. So, basically, I have not exposed the whole Krishna consciousness to this particular person yet, but I told her that, you see, it's better to accept that you have this, and you also have this. Unless and until you accept that you need something else to become really happy, the avenue will not open up. You're questioning the question is not going to lead anywhere. Acceptance of the deficit might open up some avenues. So we are still there, and little by little going ahead. Anyway, in this particular verse, remember that Supreme Personality of Godhead, what Indra is doing is what we are doing too. We have done the same thing, that Krishna, how can you be God? I want to be God. So, okay, try it. So we are trying for so long. It's not working out. You know, it's not working out. Every life filled with so many desires, and we are transmigrating from one body to another body to fulfill those desires. I heard from Prabhupada this line. So understand that Krishna will not pay a heed to somebody's envy. He did not even go to correct Rishabdev, King Indra. Rishabdev didn't go to correct. Lord Rishabdev didn't go to correct Indra at all. He just ignored him. And then he showed his potency anyhow, because he is not trying to counteract Indra's enviousness, but he is trying to carry on with his reason of avatar or incarnation or appearance. So if we find someone envious of us, pray for that living entity for their heart to become pure, but don't leave focus. A non-devotee will leave the focus and will start, maybe start talking about that person in an ill manner. But a devotee will keep the focus, the goal in front, and keep moving. And also in this particular age, we have to remember always that yajna is performed for satisfaction of Yagyapati. And in this particular age, the yajna is Sankirtan yajna. And Sankirtan yajna is very easy to perform. Every family can do that with their do that in the evening in their own house. And then there'll be no scarcity, and there'll be material happiness and spiritual happiness. This is Prabhupada writing. And this is good for this age, for 10,000 years. The statement can be locked, okay, and can be like inscribed on a stone and kept in our house. So don't underestimate. My Guru Maharaj told one time in 1990s, there was a belt in Midwest United States where there was no rain. Guru Maharaj said there was so severe drought that the government had actually fined people if they were found washing their car. In US, if you have your car on your driveway, you can just wash it with your hose, the garden hose. Maharaj said that the people were banned, and you can only fill water in your house from this time to this time. There was a severe drought, and in all entire belt of Midwest. And everybody, the scientists were trying, everybody was trying to get the rain. And then the radio station, I think it was Chicago, or I don't know, I'll ask Maharaj, but I think it was Chicago, somehow invited Kirtanananda Maharaj. Guru Maharaj went with him. He said Kirtanananda Maharaj was on the radio, and then Kirtanananda Maharaj said, we can bring the rain. You can bring the rain? Yes, we can bring the rain. So but the scientists are not being able to bring the rain. Nobody's able to bring the rain. How can you bring the rain? So Kirtan Maharaj said in that time that, okay, there is one condition where we can bring the rain. And the condition is that whatever mantra I'm going to chant on this radio right now, everybody who's hearing the mantra will also have to chant. And when we all chant, there will be rain. So there was a condition. So, and then the announcer, the radio announcer, the jockey, he actually said that in the radio. And apparently, like Kirtan Maharaj started chanting Hare Krishna Kirtan on the radio. And the next day, there was so much rain. So it appears that over 1 million people chanted Hare Krishna mantra on the radio with Kirtananda Maharaj, and then there was so much rain the next day. So when Guru Maharaj was telling us this, we were like, oh my God, this is so nice. So Krishna consciousness can do magic. Imagine like a sannyasi sitting in a radio station and claiming that he can bring rain. And the condition is that you all, whoever is hearing this announcement, should be chanting behind him. And everybody did chant. Guru Maharaj said apparently millions of people chanted Hare Krishna that day, so there was rain. So Sankirtan Yagya is the to go thing in our life in this age. That is why it is available. You know, it's Yuga Dharma. Yuga Dharma means it is available to everybody. There's no restriction of time, place, or person. Anybody can chant because it's like that. Apparently, if you are in Satyayug, the Yuga Dharma is meditation, so it's very easily available. But in Kali Yuga that we are in, Sankirtan Yagya is the Yuga Dharma, so it is very easily available. That is why it is available, because it is Yuga Dharma established by Krishna. So become the most fortunate person in this world by taking up Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And remember this example of Midwest US getting out of the drought by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra in the radio station. Any questions, reflections, realizations, or corrections? We go to Light of Bhagavad, one more attempt. Am I audible or I'm not audible?
Audible, Mataji.
Okay.
Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Yes, sir. Hare Krishna.
This Narayana Namaskritya is correct, or Narayana Namaskrityam is correct, Mataji?
Oh, Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Cheva Narottamam. Namaskrityam, we can look at it. It's in first canto. Which verse is it? First canto, second chapter? I have to
Fourth
look up.
verse. Fourth.
First canto, which chapter?
Second chapter.
1, 2, 4. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
What does it say? Narayanam Namaskritya. Namaskritya. It says Namaskritya. Naram Cheva Narottamam. You know, I can answer this to you. Okay. The verse I'm going to recite, the entire credit goes to Namanishta Prabhu. Okay, it goes back to, okay, you might feel bored, but I don't get bored with this because I was there. Every Sunday we would go to temple, right? Every Sunday we would go to like Mangalore temple when I was in Mangalore many years ago, 2 decades ago now. So Namanishta Prabhu would teach us. Every Sunday he would take our class. And then he would recite a verse, he would give class, and then we will disperse. But this particular class he gave, he kept on reciting this verse. I think 50 times Prabhu recited this verse, and I kept on hearing him, and I memorized just by hearing him. Tadvag visargo janataga viplavo yasmin prati shloka bhaddavatapi. Tadvag visargo janataga viplavo yasmin prati shloka bhaddavatapi. Shanvanti Gayanti Grinanti Sadvaha. What is the line? The Tadvad Visargo Jantaga Viplavo Yasmin Prati Shloka Bhaddavadapi. I'm forgetting one word, but the line is that there will be so many grammatical mistakes or pronunciation mistakes, but the pure words of Srimad Bhagavatam will attract the personalities who are like the who are like Paramhansas, the one who can separate water from milk. Okay, but it's good to get corrected, but don't get attached just to the vocabulary. So I'm just giving you the heads up. Because if you come to America, people will have different kind of a pronunciation style, like devotees. You go to Africa, I cannot even understand. Once I gave class to Hare Krishna Africa, and I couldn't understand their pronunciation, but they're so nice devotees. And I'll tell you one more thing. I heard this. So in UK, in Bhaktivedanta Manor, it looks like, I haven't been there yet, but that's one of the dream destinations I want to go. So above the altar, you know this verse, Kalo dosh nidhi rajan asti hi ek mahan guna. Kirtana Deva Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Paramajay. No, Kalo Nastiev Gatiranyatha. What is this verse? Kalo Nastiev Gatiranyatha?
In
Who knows the
Hare
verse?
Krishna mantra, Hare Krishna mantra is the only thing
No,
in
what is the verse? I want to know the verse.
Kalo
Harer
dosh
Nama,
nidhi
Harer
rajan.
Nama, Harer Nama
Hare Nam Eva
Kevalam.
Kevalam.
Kalo
Thank you.
Nasti Eva Nasti Eva Nasti Gatiranyatha.
Theek hai. This was a verse, okay? And they had this verse portrayed on top of the altar in Bhaktivedanta Manor. Swam Bhagwan Keshav Maharaj told us this, so it's there. So one time, a London person, he came to the temple, and it was his first visit. Okay, to the temple, and then he asked them at the end of the session, you know, I can relate a lot with your altar. You can see the altar, the shrine, and I can see the worship going on. I can see the services. So I can relate to what's going on here and what goes on in our church. It's relatable. But I just don't know one thing, that who is this Eva? and why is she nasty? Kalo Nastiev Gatiranyatha. So this English person read, who is this Eva and why is she nasty? Are you getting what I'm saying, or I'm the only one laughing? So wherever you go,
Yes.
so wherever you go, people have a different perception. And he told one more thing, that when they were doing, the devotees were doing the Sankirtan Yagya on the road in public, and one person came to the devotees and said, I love you guys. You guys are so, enthusiastic, and you're chanting and dancing Hare Krishna, and you're doing like so nice service. But I have one question. Do you have any other songs? So basically, you meet all kinds of people and all kinds of pronunciation, but as long as you can get to the heart of it.
Then even Krishna also is to pronounce it correctly. Krishna. But you see, so many people talk, even Mayapur Vaishnavas also, Krishna. But we have to understand the bhava behind that. People may pronounce like that, but we have to understand the bhakti and bhava of that particular person who sings. Krishna, Hare Krishna. This and all foreign Vaishnavas also observe it. Because I used to hear in the YouTube. So like that, you can't see. But Krishna is the correct word which you have to spell. That is also aparadha. I read somewhere in the lecture.
Okay, it came to my memory. Tadvat visargo janataga viplavo yasmin pratishloke bhaddavadapi namani anantasya yashwantakaniya shanvanti gayanti grihanti sadhava. One who is a sadhava or very sincere will ignore the grammatical mistakes. But thank you for correcting. Okay, is there any question, reflection, realization, or we do a take two on this light of
Hare Krishna
Bhagavad?
Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Mataji,
Yes,
after
Ravi.
that raining incident, so many people will become devotee, right? मतलब वो devotee बन गए होंगे उस incident के बाद.
I don't know. I'll ask my Guru Maharaj, hopefully. I mean, whoever they have chanted Hare Krishna once in their life, even by mistake, they have started their journey back home already. like ticket khareed liya.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, Prabhupada says America is one of the countries where Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Hare Krishna movement is very prevalent. He said that, right? And then he said there are countries which are very difficult. For example, Vietnam, North Korea, those countries, China, very difficult to have devotees there. But we will get there eventually. Yeah, I hope ban gaye ho.
Yeah.
Okay,
Hare
so
Krishna.
take 2, Hare Krishna, take 2 on the verse light of Bhagavad. So I'm trying. I couldn't put the animation, so sorry about that. The busy slide. But basically, what is happening in this particular book is Prabhupada writes the translation, and in the purport, he gives an analogy. So when you're reading it, you have to correlate what is this translation like analogous to. So in the second verse, Prabhupada writes, scorching heat of the sun evaporates water from the seas, rivers, lakes, reservoirs. Why don't I read it? Why don't I read it here? And then we will go there. So the scorching heat of the sun evaporates water from the seas, rivers, lakes, and reservoir, and there is little water anywhere. The people become thirsty and always look overhead for rain, but in despair. Yet, just at the right moment, torrents of rain begin to fall everywhere in the land, even on the hard stones, and the land becomes overflooded. So I'm just going to give you a zest of it. Scorching heat of the sun evaporates water from the seas, river, lakes, and reservoir, and there's little water anywhere. Analogy in the purport is the welfare state imposing tax on people and extracting that money from them. So welfare state imposes upon its citizens scorching taxes in various forms: income tax, sales tax, land tax, terminal tax, excise tax, customs tax, and so many other taxes. And then Prabhupada writes, the people become thirsty and always look overhead for rain, but in despair. So this, what I can understand the analogy is, obedience is the first law of discipline. People have become disobedient to the laws of God, and therefore neither rain nor wealth is equally distributed. A man who is ultimately disobedient cannot have any good qualifications. When disobedient leaders lead the disobedient people, the whole atmosphere of the administration becomes polluted and full of dangers, as when a blind man leads several other blind men. Okay, so why everyone is in despair? Because we are disobedient to laws of God. And yet at the right moment, torrents of rain begin to fall everywhere in the land, even on hard stones, and the land becomes overflooded. So the analogy in the purport is, in Bhagavad Gita, it is said that people should perform yagyas or sacrifices for the satisfaction of the Supreme. The Supreme is all-pervading. Therefore, people must learn to perform yagya to satisfy all-pervading Supreme Truth. In Kali Yuga, the Sankirtan yagya is recommended. Sankirtan yagya is recommended, which we studied today as well. So go back and read the verse. And this chapter is called Happiness Through Obedience to the Laws of God. I don't know. I am not able to figure out yet how to go about it.